Eve, and traffic authorities are expecting a busy day on the roads today. That's as holidaymakers make their way to Christmas destinations. Let's get an update now on traffic from the N3 toll concessions of Thania and Dhoogra. Thania, thank you so much for your time this morning. I'm sure it's going to be a very busy morning leading up to the afternoon as the traffic makes its way to the various holiday destinations. What are we expecting, especially when it comes to the N3?
Morning, Faith, and as you said, Merry Christmas to you and all of your listeners and viewers. Yes, traffic on the N3 is already increasing. We're seeing highs of already around 1,200 vehicles an hour heading southbound towards KwaZulu-Natal. That's been continuing for the past couple of hours already. So I think people have been getting a head start on their last-minute journeys down to the coast. We're expecting that is going to continue for most of the morning into the early afternoon.
In terms of just safety, Thania, we know that the N3 is extensively monitored. But again, I remember we saw even a video yesterday that was surfacing on one of the tolls where people actually got robbed at the toll plaza, which obviously then it really speaks to safety and security and ensuring that motorists do indeed get to their destinations, the way that they arrived. Let's talk a little bit about that, what is being done just to beef up the safety as people make their way to their various destinations.
Well, in general, law enforcement has heightened their presence on the entirety of the route, and they are satelliting at toll plazas strategically and other strategic locations along the route so that they can increase that presence and their visibility, not just from a criminal element, but also from a motorist safety perspective, and also ensuring that road users are adhering to the rules and regulations so that, as you say, everybody can get to their destination safely. But we also do need our road users to play their part, to be vigilant and alert and make sure that they're not distracted and that they're aware of their surroundings, and also if they do see something out of the ordinary, to please notify the authorities, contact the N3TC so that we can notify the authorities and we can get help to them as quickly as possible.
Thania, any new developments along the N3? Is there any new infrastructure that's been put up? Is there any particular roadworks that are actually coming up that motorists can be aware of as they make their way to KZN?
Now, our construction and rehabilitation program was closed for this year last week already in anticipation of the peak. So there's no construction works on the entirety of the N3 toll route itself. All lanes are fully open to traffic, unless, of course, any emergencies crop up, and we do need to attend to those. But we will do so as speedily as possible. At this point in time, all lanes are open to traffic, and traffic is flowing.
And I can imagine at this particular moment in time, as we've seen, especially around the holiday season, it's also motorists being aware of the trucks that also utilize that road.
Very much so. I mean, the N3 is one of those routes that has a very wide mix of vehicle types that travel on the route, and with that comes a vast difference in speed differentials. So it does also make for more difficult driving conditions and put a lot more pressure on drivers to ensure that they are being attentive to that and making sure that they're adjusting their driving styles accordingly. One of which, for example, not overtaking when it's unsafe to do so and not tailgating behind the trucks. I know that it is frustrating, especially when you're eager to get to your holiday destination, but we all need to remember that we have to share the road responsibly at all times so everyone gets there.
Thania, just give us a little bit of a tip here. What do we do if we find ourselves stuck along the N3? Let's say it's the middle of the night, or we are making our way down and something happens with the vehicle and we just find ourselves stuck in the middle of that road. What do we do?
Well, N3TC maintains a 24-hour N3 helpline, which you can dial at any time. It's 0800 634357. We will dispatch our own route patrol services, and we will also contact the relevant law enforcement or emergency services as may be required. You can also contact us on Twitter at N3 Route. That channel is also monitored 24/7, and we're on hand to offer any assistance to our road users 24/7.
And of course, law enforcement is working quite closely to make sure that motorists adhere to the regulations. For example, drinking and driving, and people that are driving without the legal licenses, as well as seatbelts. And I know that it's a big issue, but seatbelts not even being on.
Absolutely. And not to mention, not adhering to speed limits. Everybody's in a hurry. We need to take time, slow down, put down our cell phones, make sure that we're in the moment, paying attention to what's happening around us, and, adhering to the rules of the road at all times.
When do we expect the traffic to subside?
We're expecting that today the traffic should start easing from around midday going into the early afternoon. So it's more than likely still going to be a bit busy, but it shouldn't be reaching anywhere near the volumes that we've been seeing the past couple of days.
Thania, we'll leave it there for now, and I know that we'll be just tracking that N3 toll just to make sure that motorists are getting to their desired destinations, particularly on time and also quite safely. N3 toll concessions. Thania Dhoogra, thank you very much for your time.